And about 15 months ago, we had our next guest on the podcast, a triple Olympian in alpine and freestyle skiing, the great Jenny Lyons at Knee Owens. You might remember that from that time. And during that chat, we spoke about something that we want to claim today fueled a desire to help come back into what we're here talking about today, because it is a comeback. It's a comeback special in what I'm also calling an exclusive. I never like to use that word on this show because it gets overused and not used properly. I'm saying today we can use that properly today because it's a bit of an exclusive chat to learn more about what is bringing her back to the slopes and her comeback as she pushes towards the fourth Olympics. Jenny Lyons is back on the show. Jenny, welcome back to Off the Podium.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I am so excited for this, and I touched on this with you off air. We're doing something a little bit different on this chat. We don't usually start an interview with playing a clip, but I'm going to play a clip right now because this is what you said about 15 months ago on this show. We were talking about you maybe doing commentary, and then this is kind of how you reacted when I brought up that prospect of you maybe doing commentary at the next Olympics. Here we go.
Oh, I'd much rather be competing. Who wants to sit in the chair? No, I mean, it is nice to sometimes be sitting in a chair, but I miss competing, and I reckon I still would today if I could.
Oh, what's stopping you, Jenny? Come on. Like, you know, spring chicken still, right? You know?
I mean, I don't think my age is an issue. Others would say otherwise, but I mean, I sort of like, if I won millions of dollars, I'd probably throw some into it and make a point that us old ducks can still have something to give.
Hey, I just use Andrew Hoy as a perfect example. What was he, 62 in Tokyo, and he's trying to get back to Paris? So, I mean, you know, equestrian, a little bit different to skiing. I get that. But at the same time.
Yeah, ski cross isn't a sport, I feel. It's not like alpine skiing where there's a lot of physical knee going there. It's still physical, but it's different. It's a sport I feel you could actually still be fast at an older age. Your body may not handle the crashes as well, but I feel like you could still be pretty competitive.
Nick Baumgartner was like 40, wasn't he, when he won gold in Beijing? So I mean, just a couple.
Only 5 years past that, you know.
couple years there. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, just never say never.
Never, that's right. I mean, I just need someone who would like to maybe sponsor me about $500,000 to do it, to get me to my fourth Olympics, and I'll do it.
Okay, well, first question I've got to ask, Jenny, what's it like either winning the lottery or having a Saudi businessman contact you? Because obviously that's where we're at, right? That's why we're doing the comeback. The money's come flowing in. That's all we can. Breaking news on Off the Podium today, first of all.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? No Saudi and no lottery one. Unfortunately, this is all a different way about it, and it's I guess us deciding to do a documentary around women's health, and I guess the subject is myself, and we'll be looking into a whole range of things through that process. And so with that, obviously we need funding for that, and but it's a bigger, I guess, a bigger reward at the end of it to help women see what we can actually do later in life.
We also like to take credit in our lives here, and that we lit the spark for you, Jenny. So basically, if you didn't do that interview, you wouldn't be doing this. But I mean, this is overall just an absolutely incredible story for you to be able to come out of retirement. Because one thing you touched on in our interview is that you said that you never felt like you had achieved everything you'd wanted to, and that always, every time you come out of retirement at every other stage in your life, it was because you had that desire to kind of reach that potential that you feel there. So I can also imagine, based on what you were just saying, and also this drive as well, is there a lot of that too, to kind of feed that desire to kind of achieve what you feel you're capable of?
Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, I wouldn't be doing this in the first place if I didn't think I could still be competitive at my age. And I just really do, with the field there is today, not bagging them. There's a lot of very good girls. I just still feel that I can be competitive. It is a smaller field. There are only probably, 32 girls that race. So there isn't a lot of girls on the World Cup Tour itself. I just still feel I can be reasonably competitive still, and then put a great team around me with the best high performance, with the best women's health around recovery, nutrition, supplementing, sleep, monitoring my body, really knowing how to get the best out of someone just seeing where you can take it is just, that's going to be the interesting side to this. I really think I can mix it with the best.
And to confirm, if people obviously know your story, listen to our last chat with you, you've competed in two different sports at the Olympics, being alpine and freestyle skiing. But to confirm, this is for freestyle skiing, this is for ski cross that you are coming back into.
Yeah, it is. And look, I mean, as much as I love alpine skiing needs a lot more focus and attention, and a lot more than a 9-month build-in. Lindsay Vohn's obviously doing her story, and I think it was about a year and a half in, or maybe 2 years she's given herself for this. And she's done really well, but she's still got a long way to go to where she's hoping to get. And that would be me times 5, because I'm not Lindsay Vonn. And don't get me wrong, I didn't think of this because of Lindsay. This is not a Lindsay Vonn story. Lindsay's doing her thing. She's an amazing athlete, and I'm at a totally different caliber, totally different stage in my life. This is just something that, I've always wanted to do, but when this opportunity came up with the documentary, I just thought, oh, that's such a cool story, because it's such a big conversation right now around, longevity, perimenopause with women in their 40s, and just all the new data and information around how to get the best out of females' bodies, because all the data that we have around sports is around males.
Mm. And is that at that level of when you make the official confirmation that you're going to do this, is a lot of that contacting doctors and kind of scientists and that to kind of, I guess, get some facts, as you're saying, that the limited ones that exist, and then also kind of add that through training and everything along those lines to kind of see that how you do have to go through these things that aren't that familiar with many people, because as you say, the research hasn't really been done about it before.
Yeah, so the research is there now, but I always find research always changes. So if you look at recovery, if you look at saunas and cold plunges, and that information, I feel like always sort of changes a little bit. It's always getting tweaked from the research they had 10 years ago to the research they have now. It's changed slightly again. So it will continue to change over time when they come up with new ways and things. But right now, the information is out there. Dr. Stacey Sims has done a lot of studies around it, because she just started getting frustrated around why were they throwing out women's data from research when they were seeing that the women's menstrual cycle was mucking up the results, and the men's were quite stable. They get rid of the women's and be like, oh, you're mucking up the results. Let's get rid of those. We'll just focus on the men. We'll do the men, and then we'll just change it for the women, make it a little bit smaller, because they're just like smaller males.
Yeah.
Which isn't true at all. Our systems work totally different.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of new information out there now, and people are obviously starting to learn about it, hear about it, but we're just really going to put it into practice and really put it into my day-to-day ways of training and competing and all of that, and it'd be just really interesting to see what happens.
So what are the biggest things that you have to overcome in training and getting back into competitive skiing? Like, what are those things that you're touching on there? What are the biggest things that you have to face in this comeback?
Well, one thing I can't change is my age. So I'm already at a disadvantage because I could be everyone's parent that races. Could be their mother.
You're Australia's parent, Jenny. That's how much we love you. Come on, let's be honest.
So, that's a disadvantage in itself, because obviously your body does your fast twitch muscles do start to slow down. So it's obviously me having to work hard at those and keep those going and bring them back. I am in perimenopause, so obviously I have that, and I can't even tell you the long list of issues that perimenopause brings.
Can I just interrupt you for 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Being the male on this podcast right now, what is perimenopause? Can you explain what that is, just to help someone like me understand that a little bit too?
Okay, so menopause, everyone would know what menopause is. So menopause, when you have hit menopause, that means you have not had a menstrual cycle, or like a period, for 1 year. Mm-hmm. So if you get to 10 months or 11 months and you get a period, you're not in menopause yet. Right.
So that close, like you're nearly there, and then damn it, no. All right, there it is. Okay. Yeah.
And if you got a period a year in, a year out, a year through your menopause anyway, well, you're not through menopause yet, because you've still got another period. Wow. So really, it technically means when your periods are done, you're in menopause, but you need to have had it for at least one year. Perimenopause is probably the starting phase of it. So you get slight hints of it, and then, you know, as you go, like you'll start maybe getting grumpy much easier, night sweats, your period's a bit all over the place, like with timing, not all over the place.
Well, depends on the month, right?
Yeah. And there's just some signs. And I mean, I didn't recognize it at first. I just thought I was just really getting frustrated at work or grooming dogs or whatever I was doing. So by the afternoon, I'd lost all my patience, and so I'd have a glass of wine to sort of bring me down a level. And you know, I'd sweat at nighttime, but not every night. It was just sort of around where I'd get my periods, and you'd wake up dripping wet. And then I just sort of came to me one day that, because I know my sister started it quite early, maybe when she was 40, and I was like, oh, I wonder if this is peri. And there's no blood tests you can do. Like some GPs and that still do blood tests, and they go, oh, no, you're not in it. Yeah, your hormones are fine. My hormones are fine too, but we put me on estrogen. I already have a Mirena, which gives me progesterone. So we put me on estrogen, and I just changed overnight.
Wow.
They were like, oh, you won't notice anything for a week. I think I noticed within 48 hours. I was just like,
that quick,
so
wow.
much more chilled, didn't get the white night sweats and things like that. So it's like, oh, okay. And as that's progressed, obviously, I've had to take more of everything. And and when I say more of everything, I mean like what they call HRT, hormone replacement therapy. And it is basically just putting your hormones back in your system so that your body copes. But if you're not looking after it and you're not getting all of the right hormones, you lack in sleep, you're moody, your bone density levels go down, like your memory, 30% of your memory starts to fizzle away. It does come back after menopause, apparently.
Oh. You should remember all that 30% you forgot over the last year. Oh, that's it. That's where I left the keys.
So there's a whole range of things where your body just starts to just shut down a bit, I guess, and just not respond the way that it needs to. You're lethargic, you're tired, you put on weight. There's so many things, and this can start with women in 35. There's no rule around it. I mean, it's unusual, but it does happen. Mm-hmm. It's generally sort of in your 40s, 45 onwards is sort of the general rule around it, but it does happen to women a lot earlier.
Kind of like how we've seen some younger girls, like children, almost are getting their periods at ridiculously young ages sometimes, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's that would be the biggest. I mean, it's not that I have to overcome it. I just have to make sure I'm having the right replacing all my hormones and doing all that right, making sure I'm eating the right amount of food, really recovering well, and making sure that my body is being able to, get that help support recovery. Having extra supplements around my cycle, so that because you do have during a women's cycle, you do a pretty flat coming into before you get your period. So you get really lethargic. So it's supplementing through, the bloating, the pain, the period pains, the blah, blah, blah. You can supplement through that and be a better athlete. So those things aren't affecting you.
And is that, and so I don't know how to word this, but like, given that you're mentioning that there's not a lot of research, say for the men's side of things when it comes to bodies and that sort of stuff, and then you're having to take these supplements and everything, is there research around, I mean, let me rephrase that. Are these supplements and that you're taking affecting things like doping? Like, because given there's so limited athletes of your age potentially doing this, that maybe that's something they don't really have to care about in usual times? No,
look, vitamins, and when I say supplementing, I mean like vitamins.
Right,
so
okay.
Like your omega-3s, your D3, your vitamin D3s, mm-hmm. Those types of vitamins, and having them at the right times and things like that. And there's a whole range of sort of vitamins, and I don't want to tell everyone This will be part of the documentary.
No spoilers, no spoilers.
Yeah, so it's and the company that will be getting them from test all of their products, not just their creatine or their protein powder or their pre-workout. They test everything.
Right. Okay. Because it's sort of that fascinating thing that I can imagine that generally, athlete or no athlete, when you get to a certain age, you don't really have to worry about that sort of stuff, right? Particularly athletes. So therefore, it's probably more of a free for all. I can take whatever. I don't have to get doped every 5 seconds. So I just wondering, with that research, because I would find that very interesting if that is something that could be a cause and effect of trying to maintain everything that you're sort of saying there.
Yes, and it's not just me because I'm older. This
of course
applies
the
to
younger
athletes too. It's just that there's a lack of information out there about it. But stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yes, we don't want to spoil that too much. So I mean, outside of sort of those elements, then you're back in the gym already. You're back on the slopes. Kind of like sort of what are some of the other elements that already you're sort of pushing towards as you continue this comeback journey?
Yeah, well, I mean, I started this whole thing on basically the 1st of May, I'm going to say, was where the thought process started. I mean, I've been in the gym the whole time. I'm a CrossFitter, keen CrossFitter. I've been lifting and training ever since I stopped ski racing. So I've never sort of lost my strength and fitness. That's always been there. So that's not such a big deal. It's more getting back on snow. Like I haven't done a lot of skiing. So it's just sort of starting with the fundamentals, really just honing in on those over the first month or two, starting to move those into like short little gates, turning on demand, just really getting that stuff dialed in. And then we'll head to Europe in October on the glaciers and train on the ski cross tracks where all the World Cup girls and guys are training, and just mix it with them for the whole month. And basically from November onwards, I'll be over there until after the games and, have to qualify first. But I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about actually even being able to race a World Cup. That's that's where I need to figure out how we're going to do that, because obviously there's rules and regulations around starting World Cup. You just can't go and start a World Cup.
Can't just like rock up and go, it's a Thursday, I'm going to World Cup. I mean, so based on what you're researching right now, like what are the processes? Do you have to like enter certain types of races to be eligible? I mean, kind of, what is the process from what you've discovered so far?
Yeah, so you need 100 points, 100 FIS points, and you earn those from going to certain races, but you need a solid field there to have those points. Now, in Australia, we don't have a solid race like that. So we do have one in August, and I might go up and have a muck around and see if I'll race or not. I'm not sure if my equipment would have arrived by then. I do have skis to ski on, but they're not technically race skis, and I don't even know if they're the right length and dimensions that I can race on them anyway, because again, there's rules and regulations around equipment. I don't have a race suit. I'd probably have to borrow one. So I'm not fully set up with all the equipment yet to race. So yes, there's one in Australia. There is one in Chile, but it's a long way to go for a race that may not be on, because if it's bad weather, it won't be on. Yeah. A very expensive risk. Usually there is a FIS race in Austria right before the World Cups start. You need 2 results. So there's 2 races. But again, to me, that's really risky, because if you crash in one of them or whatever, that has not you're just not going to be able to have the points to race. So we need to have some conversations with FIS about ski cross and the safety and what we can organise there. Just keep do races where I can, and just hope we can pull it off before the World Cups start. If not, it means I need to chase some Europa Cup races, but that's during I would miss the first 5 World Cups of the year, leaving me only 2 World Cups to qualify for the Olympics in.
Wow, 2.
Yeah. Wow. So that would be really stressful and a lot of pressure, and I don't feel like that's the best way forward for the documentary, because obviously you want to be mixing it with the best girls, and even just race prepping myself to be able to be Olympic ready, race ready, Olympic ready, because I know the last two Olympics I went to, I was not race ready. So that was, being in the start gate next to the girls, I hadn't done a lot of racing. So it was sort of like, so I do want to be, the whole October and November being on tracks and training will really help. And then hopefully being on the World Cup tour throughout December and the start of January before the end of the World Cup, the Olympic qualifying period, I should be able to get enough.
Hopefully.
I should be able to qualify.
The crosses. I mean, you talk about sort of being in touch with like FIS and sort of finding out those sort of things. At a local level, do you have to sort of like contact the AOC, the OWI? Like, I mean, sort of what's the process from a local perspective? Say, I'm coming back, guys.
Yeah. So they're all across it. It was funny. I set meetings with them, and even Keno from Snow Australia was like, "Well, I wasn't expecting that." I know, it's like, you're not the first to say that. I've got something to talk to you about. Really need to, face to face, and yeah. So so I've spoken to Jeff Lipshart and Michael Kennedy, and they're both across it. So I would love, to work with OWI through this. Like, Jeff's been around for such a long time. I would love to hear he's having some time to think about it. He's worked quite a lot with some of the athletes around strategizing, getting the best out of them and best things. And he's already come up with some great ideas that I hadn't thought of. So, I definitely will continue conversations with both of them really around how we can make this even better.
You'd surely be buddies with Alyssa Camplin, right? The chef de mission. Like, you should probably flick her a text. I'm like, hey, Alyssa, come on. Like,
I haven't told Alyssa yet, but I'm sure Jeff or Keno or someone may have told her. I did tell them that it's still not public knowledge yet, obviously, but I know, like, Jeff probably has to talk to the board. Keno had to speak to other people. So, it's probably slowly leaking out.
Well, I think by the time this is out, that might be just slightly out there. I mean, we joked about winning the lottery and getting a Saudi businessman backing you, Jenny. But I mean, with all that aside, like, what is this going to cost, and how are you going to fund this? Because as we know, with any winter athlete, particularly from Australia, not cheap.
No, not cheap, exactly. And it's a lot of athletes' problem. Nearly every athlete is out there trying to fundraise and get money and support. So, I mean, it's still not easy. We still are struggling to get it all together. And it just depends how much, like, product and that we can get support with, like, for instance, accommodation. Maybe there's a deal with Airbnb or bookings or accommodation, like a hotel chain or anything like that will alleviate some of the accommodation costs, or, cars or whatever, airfares, things like that. That'll alleviate a lot of the expenses. Again, it's my coach is not cheap because I'm pulling him out of working at Circus du Soleil. So,
oh, really? That's not a bad place to be like, hi, can you come over and bring you back?
So he's earning a good wage there, which is very different to a coaching wage.
Yeah.
So to pull him out of there full time, I'm just like, oh my God. But I feel like he's going to be the best person to help me do what I need to. Having a serviceman as well, so you've got people's wages and expenses to cover as well, and my own. So it is not cheap, but, and then you've got all the production fees as well. We're definitely looking at over $1 million from start to finish, including production of the documentary itself.
But then it's going to become a box office smash, and you'll just earn that, like, opening weekend, $5 million at the Australian box office, right? Boom, done, paid back with change.
Well, the plan is we're not doing this small. We do want to have it, whether it's a Netflix or an Amazon or whatever. They want to try and get it, make it so good that it's going to be in Sundance Film Festival. They are going big with this. They're trying to get the likes of Hello Sunshine producing it, which is Drew Barrymore's production company, and they're her and Cameron Diaz are both very big women's health advocates. So there's a lot of big names being thrown around at the moment. We haven't locked anything in yet, but that's the direction they're taking the film. There's a lot of interest in it, especially because it is based on that women's health, where there's those big conversations right now.
Which I just love the fact that 15 months ago when we talked, Jenny, there's no way you could have imagined that, oh yeah, Cameron Diaz and Drew Barrymore might be involved in my life, essentially, right? Like, I mean,
Like I said, nothing's locked in yet. They're just names being thrown around. So hopefully.
Based on our last chat when we joked about you coming back, in 18 months' time, I'm going to be talking to you with an Oscar in your bloody hand, right? This is where this direction's going, and a gold medal. So, I mean, that's kind of, that's going there. I mean, you talked about obviously contacting these people and sort of, you joked about some of that, like, oh, that's not what I was expecting kind of reaction. But what has been a lot of that reaction out there from some of these people that you, I mean, and actually backtracking that, what was your husband's reaction when you said, honey, how's your day? How are the kids? By the way, I'm going to go to the Olympics again.
Yeah, well, I said to him, like, I've had about 3 nights of no sleep because my mind's going 100 miles an hour trying to figure out how to make this work. And I just need to run this by you. Please just let's not talk about the money side of things. Let's not talk about the kids and the logistics of that. Can we just strategize? I just want to know this is possible. So we strategize that. Okay. Then we looked at the logistics with kids. Yep. And then I think it was like 2 days later, he was like, oh, we still haven't talked about the budget yet. And I was like, yeah.
It's $1 million, whatever.
Let's ignore that side because we know we don't have the money. And he was the one that said, look, I think the only way you're going to pull this off is by doing a documentary, and, you know, big conversations right now are longevity and perimenopause. And then I got on ChatGPT. Documentary idea. And basically that helped me put a pitch together, and
wow.
I went and spoke to a few people, and I reckon out of everyone I've spoken to, I've had really good reactions. Probably, I reckon 96, 97% have all loved the idea. And the ones who have been like, guess who they were?
Men?
Yes.
Yep, of course. Don't even need to think about that one. We're horrible, so of course they're going to say that. So yeah.
Well, I just don't think they get the conversation, and they're probably blind to what's going on. I mean, I've been living under a rock. I only knew about Dr. Stacey Sims when I started talking about this documentary. So, like, someone said, "Oh, you need this lady," and I'm like, "Who's this lady?" And I started listening to a podcast, and I was just like, "Oh my God, this lady's awesome! How do I not know about her?" Even though I knew the conversation was there because I was going through it, when I started listening to her podcast, I was just like, oh my gosh, all these things I've been doing wrong my whole existence, especially as an athlete. So I think there's a lot of people living under a rock still.
Yeah, I definitely think I'm one of them too. This is why I'm asking you questions about what the hell is perimenopause. You know, I thought it was like a new flavor at Nando's, but clearly I was completely wrong. But I mean, it's obviously that level of so many things that you're pushing towards here, Jenny. I mean, obviously, 4th Olympics, fantastic. Let's go get a medal, all those kind of things. But it sounds like it's more so mainly about, as you're saying, the getting this message out there, showing what is capable for female athletes. And it doesn't matter what age you are, no pun intended, but there's really no peak, there's really no mountain. Like, you know, let's show what's possible.
Well, that's right. And look, we might put the best team behind me that I've ever had and could ever have. And I still may not be able to do what I think I can do. But that's part of the story. Like, okay, we're trying to change the narrative. Oh, okay, love, back in your box, you were wrong. But I just don't believe that I am wrong. I believe that with this information and new data and having the best team around me to give me the best opportunity to do well, I just think we can do great things. And I'm not saying that I'm going to go out and win a World Cup. That's not, I'm not looking at it like that. I just feel like I could maybe get back on the podium, or I might be top 6, or like I'm sort of looking around that. But at the same time, I'm also going, you know what? Don't put a number on it. Just go in there with an open mind, no plan, just to ski well, enjoy it, do everything you can with everything I'm being told to do, and just see what happens.
It's just that it's also that really embodiment of the Olympics, whereas that for you, just qualifying and making it and just getting that uniform and the accreditation, like obviously you're not going to want to go out there and get disqualified in the line and never show up, but like, I mean, just it's still that level of what that would mean to you and everything that you're striving to achieve by simply even just getting on that plane to Milan.
Yeah. No, I actually, because I work at Deloitte, I actually organised the Australian Olympic Committee's processing day with the AOC.
Right.
And I hated it. I mean, I loved organising it, but I hated being on the other side, all the athletes all excited, trying on the uniforms, blah, blah, blah.
You're like, screw you all. Like, come on.
And then I went to the Snow Awards that night and was there, hanging around the old crew and just being there, and I was like, oh, I miss this. I so miss this. And when I was back at the Snow last year with my daughter, I just was like, I would love to give this life to my kids or be in it. I really miss it. And so anyway, here we are. I'm back in it.
Months away from it. Were your kids born when you last were in the Olympics in 20? Had you had any of your children before Sochi, or was it purely after Sochi?
No, yeah. This will be new. It'll be new. My son's nearly 4 in September, and he'll probably be the one that struggles the most. Because when I went away for my 2-week surfing trip with the girls recently with Lydia, Laszlo, Britt Cox, and Katja Kremer, and a few other girls, he struggled a little bit. So we're not sure how it's going to work, and they're going to come over for parts of it, but he might just have to be with me full time too, which is going to be hard, and I don't know how we're going to manage it yet, but I'm just like, look, let's just not make too many plans yet. Let's just roll with the punches and just see what happens.
Point A to point B, and then that can sort of come along as it goes. Yeah. I mean, obviously having the names you just mentioned there, obviously still very close with. I mean, I can imagine someone like Lydia's in your corner, Britt's in your corner. I mean, they're all in your corner. Catcher's obviously what deputy chef Michonne. So, I mean, I'm sure they're all cheering you on there. Team Jenny, I can imagine.
Yes, well, they knew about it. Some of them already knew. Lydia was one of the first persons I called actually about it because obviously because of her documentary. And then I, told Kat, and then I told the rest of the girls on tour too, on our surf trip. But it was a bit nerve-wracking. It's always a bit nerve-wracking telling people because you don't know how they're going to respond. I mean, look, I appreciate. I'm 47 years old. I get how crazy and ridiculous this sounds. I'm not stupid, but again, at the same time, I feel with all this new information, and I just still believe that I can do this. That let's just see. And you know what, you live once, and this is living. This to me is living your life. Being here in the rat race, earning money to pay a bill every month is not living to me. It's like just kill me now.
That's the message. Yeah. No.
So, and even just talking like with the likes of Steve Lee, after his stroke, and I'm just like, that could be me tomorrow. And I at the moment, I can still do that. There's going to be a time in my life where I am at an age where I cannot go and race a ski cross World Cup anymore. There is going to be that time. I don't know what age that is or when that's going to be. It could be now. But I just don't think that it is yet. So I just feel like I don't want to look back when I'm 55 and go, when I had that opportunity, I really wish that I just took it and did it, because now I can't. So I just, I'm that part of it's probably the bigger part that drove me to all this in the first place.
It's inspirational. I mean, that's kind of like what I like hearing, because I agree with you completely. Sort of those moments where you don't want to look back at something and go, I could have had this chance, but I didn't take it. Because I guess if we're talking to you in 12 months' time, Jenny, I mean, obviously we're going to be sitting here, Olympic gold medalist, Oscar-nominated film, all that kind of stuff.
Whole different story, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Isn't it good that I went and tried it?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, realistically, like, if we are talking to you in 12 months, what do you honestly hope you have achieved between now and then?
Result-wise, I don't know. But I hope that we've achieved, one, inspiring a lot of older women to continue whatever it is that they want to do, whether it's in sport or even a hobby sport. They feel like they're too old now. That's absolutely crap. I just hope that we've been able to give the right information out there on a world scale with the documentary around what you need to eat, what you need to do, how you need to train, all of that information that's going to help women perform better and not have these restrictions around them about performance or just the wrong information that's been handed out for so long. So I guess I would feel like we've accomplished something great. I mean, one, if we have that, but also two, I mean, let's be honest. If I've landed on the podium like a couple of times, even if it's just the World Cup, I'd be pretty satisfied with that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Absolutely. Particularly, after,
you wouldn't be sad about it.
No, exactly. Yeah, bloody bronze at like 47. Jesus, come on.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that, just in terms I'm a stats man, and I try to look up as best as I could to see what records we could be breaking next year in the Olympics, whichever way you look at it. From my research, and if anybody's listening, watching, and they want to fact check me, please call me out on it. But I found that the oldest ever female Winter Olympian is Claudia Pechstein, the German speed skater back in Beijing.
Yes.
She was 49 years old. So when you go on to the French Alps in 2030, you can break her record. But the oldest female medalist, Caroline Derbyshire-McCrory, Canadian curler, at 46 years old back in Vancouver in 2010. And the oldest individual medalist was Hilda Geiger-Schaug Pedersen. Apologies to our Norwegian listeners. She was a Norwegian cross-country skier back in 2006 at 41 years old. She won a medal. So you win a medal next year, you're breaking records. Let's just say that, Jenny.
See, I looked all that stuff up too, and I also looked up what's the oldest Australian winter athlete. I didn't do summer because there's equestrian riders.
Summer, they can be old in that sport. They've got it easy, let's be honest. You've got it harder in the winters. Come on.
I was equal oldest in Sochi.
Wow.
With an alpine skier from back in 1956. And I should remember his name. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I would definitely be the oldest Australian Winter Olympian ever if I qualify for Milano-Cortina.
Because it's funny you mentioned that, because I was trying to find out that too. And FIS have like a decent, database when it comes to oldest winners. Doesn't have competitors.
Yeah.
So in terms of the oldest freestyle winner, it's Lydia when she won in Vancouver. She was 28. I mean, obviously,
in the 20s.
But I mean, that's going to basically, clip that very, very far ahead. But they don't quite have the just a competitor age, if that makes sense. Kind of going on that. But I'm seeing here the oldest non-Australian, the great Ali Super, won gold. Was in Sochi in the aerials. So she was 34 when she won gold.
Yeah, okay.
So again, that's quite, not a bit more than 34, not too much more. Jenny, I'm not
there was Lydia said there was an aerialist, and I don't recall her name, that competed in Beijing, and she was 40.
Okay, right. So this is only telling me the winners.
I think that's pretty old for an aerialist.
Might have actually, because I think Ali didn't she go on past Sochi? I'm pretty sure she went on even further. Although there was also a Chinese aerial skier off the top of my head that was that, quite old. Sorry, of an age. There we go. I just lost Jenny. She's off the podcast. She's got. I shouldn't say that. 40 years old is only 2 years older than me. So what am I talking about with that kind of going on those lines? But yeah, it's jokes aside about summer and winter, it is kind of interesting when I was looking up these stats, because I'm thinking like, surely there was like a skier in 1924 that was like 60 or something like that, when, obviously they didn't really care. But to see kind of just the ages there that, because even the male side of things, they're only into their 50s. So obviously summer, we've got 70-year-olds going in equestrian, right? And 60-year-olds in shooting, they're just standing there. They're lazy summer athletes.
We've had 40-year-olds in ski cross before. Like Crystal Bosco's still competing, and he's 43 or 44, I think. We had there was an Austrian girl competing. I don't know if she qualified in the end for Vancouver, but she was 44 or 45 or 43. I don't know, sort of mid to low 40s. And then Magda Iliasson, who competed in Vancouver, she was 40 then too. So I'm not rewriting the rule book. I'm just on the higher end of 40.
Raising the bar. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I mentioned him in that snippet we played before. I know it's obviously snowboard, not ski, but Nick Baumgartner was 40?
Yeah.
Obviously male,
Yeah. And look, honestly, 40's the new 30.
Yeah.
Come on.
You brought up obviously Lindsay Vonn a couple of times, and she, again, the story going on there with everything that she's going to try to achieve and everything along the lines. And I remember when she sort of announced that she was coming back, like, wow, okay, that's pretty incredible. Good for her.
Yeah.
So, let's make the Olympics in Italy the queens of
the comeback,
the comeback queens, basically.
Comeback Olympics. Yeah.
Everybody, you might mention it to Alyssa, and maybe Alyssa might be like, oh, fuck being chef de mission, I'm going to go back out there and compete again, right? Lydia, she's still got the quest for going out there as well. Like, she still seems fit and You just kicked ass
Yeah,
on
it's
Survivor.
definitely fit.
So,
yeah.
Why not? Just keep them all out there. And you know who I'm going to bring up, just because I always got to bring up on every episode? Dale Beck Smith might come off his island tomorrow and just like, bugger it. I can go out there again too, Bring them all back.
Anyone can. They've got the body for it.
Now, Jenny, we're going to wrap this up with a new set of questions. They're different to the ones we asked you last time. But before we get to that, what can people listening, watching, can anybody help out? Like, I mean, you might not have gotten this far yet with it, obviously, with everything, but is it a case of maybe people keep an eye on your social media channels and there's eventually going to be like a fundraiser or tickets to buy the film, anything like that? Like, how can people help you get to Italy next year?
Yes. Well, what we are going to be doing is asking everyone to make a $5 tax deduction donation. It's their morning coffee. Give up your morning coffee for this project. It will help us sort of help with the filming. So if we can get enough people donating $5, then there's our budget. And we think it's such a small bit of donation, even $2 is enough. We get enough people donating $2. It will definitely fund the project and get us to where we need to and have this information out there in the public where women are just being able to do, way more than we've been told we can. And there's no rules around it. It's just some bullshit saying that, it's been sucked into society for us women to get in their boxes and sit back and have your kids and get on with life, move on. But, not all of us want to move on, and moving on for us is being in sport and doing crazy things. So yeah.
Message keep going out there. And the positive too about you doing this interview on this podcast, Jenny, we've got a quite sizable American audience. So if they donate $5, that's about like $8 Australian. So
that's right.
That's even more.
It wouldn't be tax deductible though, but still, it's still a morning coffee. And it is, your $5 is actually our $8, so it does help that little bit more.
There you go, America, just putting it out there. Jenny, we, as I said, got 10 new questions that I want to put to you because one of these is very relevant to kind of this documentary, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with this one. But these are some extra ones on top of what we asked you last time, and we're going to learn a little bit more about this. So bring it back to your triple Olympic career, and then we're going to add that quad one to it there. Number one, what is the one thing that you never leave home without when traveling to a competition? And I'm not going to put this in past tense anymore because you are a competitor now. So what is the one thing that you never leave home without for a competition?
Helmet.
That's pretty standard, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Can you still use your helmet, or is this another case you've got to get a new one because the regulations changed or something?
No, I don't think the regulations have changed. Maybe they have, but I do need a new helmet. I got rid of my race helmet. Why would I ski around in a race helmet?
It was like a lucky helmet or something like that you kind of had, or anything like that. So
I got rid of all my non-competitive. I've got cooler helmets now that I, free ride around in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. A tradition or superstition that you follow before every big competition?
It's not really before every competition, but it's if I did do well the night before, like the day before, I'll try and eat and do exactly what I did the morning before. It never works though.
Right.
Just in case, I'll eat that again for breakfast, and I had a little bit of that, so I'm going to make sure. And yep.
So you keep the consistency going. I like that. That kind of that's interesting. What is a song that is on every single one of your pre-competition playlists, no matter what?
Yeah, so that's a hard one because I'm not a big muso. Look, I like music. I like things with a beat. It's got to be like really beaty to get me in the mood. But that changes all the time. But I don't have a playlist yet because I've been listening to things like Taylor Swift, The Wiggles, Baby Shark. My playlist on Spotify is so screwed up from my kids listening to their music that when you listen to the one that you can hit that's like music for you.
Yep.
No, that's not music for me because
I see three opportunities there. All right. Get Tay-Tay on board, get the Wiggles on board, and get the Baby Shark people on board. There's your $1 million. Imagine if Taylor Swift tomorrow joined up and joined your document. Not only would you get $1 million, you get $1 billion for your goddamn thing.
I don't think she has a spare billion.
Yeah.
Maybe a spare million.
Fair couple. Get the Kelsey brothers on there, get on their pod. I mean, as much as, our podcast is great, we're no Kelsey brothers, right? So, I mean, just saying out there. But, I mean, also Pump Up. Baby Shark's a Pump Up song, getting up there on the slopes.
Baby Shark, yeah, my son would say it is, but no.
Yeah. he counts all the time, right? This is an interesting one actually because obviously social media wasn't as big as it was today when you were competing, but it was still around. So the most unexpected or funny DM that you ever got as an Olympian?
Ooh. I I don't think I've ever really been famous enough to get a Podium. No, there
Ah.
has definitely been a couple of randoms. Honestly, cannot remember off the top of my head though. It's been so long. Ben, I competed at Sochi Olympics 11 years ago.
That only feels like yesterday.
It's another lifetime ago.
Well, let me rephrase that, because one thing that I miss that you used to be able to do in the Olympics is send the herograms, the Telstra herograms that you could send. Did you ever get like a quirky or fun, or, back in Salt Lake, does anybody sending many herograms to you at all?
Only the kids from like primary school and that I used to go to, but no randos. I just obviously don't attract the randos.
Well, I honestly think you're probably in a good spot.
I'm not very fun with these questions.
But I think you're in a good spot, because you'd probably be scared half the time. Some of the people that are telling the answers, they're getting to this one, they're wanting feet pics, they're wanting sugar mummies and sugar dad. I mean, you probably could use a sugar mummy or sugar dad right now for the money, but it's just some of these other things. You're like, God, there are sick people out there asking questions. Sick people, I'm telling you, sick people out there. The weirdest thing that you ever ate at an international competition, and did you like it?
Oh, I didn't eat it. I looked at it and was like, I don't know what that is, but I'm not eating it. But we reckoned it was cow's balls.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It probably wasn't. I don't even know if you can eat them. But it didn't look good. It was in this clear broth soup. We were in Czechoslovakia somewhere. And this is going back to when, the Russians had only really just moved out not that long after. So they weren't in a great way. But I don't know what was in it. I did not eat it.
If it looks like cow's balls.
We were just saying it was cow's balls. Probably. It looked like balls.
Probably don't want to eat it if it looks like some testicles.
Exactly.
So, okay, that's fine. I mean, on the topic of better food, perhaps, what is your ultimate guilty pleasure meal after a big competition?
Well, not necessarily after a competition, but my biggest weakness is fries, chips, hot chips. I love a hot chip.
Yes.
How good are hot chips, especially when you're cold, or just, not that I'm hungover these days, but that greasy. They're just good anytime. Hot summer's day. Do
you have like a go-to, are you a Macca's fries girl? Are you a fish and chips, $2 in the white paper girl? Like, what do you prefer?
It depends on the fish and chip shop, because not all fish and chips have good chips.
True.
So I wouldn't say that, but I do like a Macca's fries. I don't mind a KFC. You've done well, but they're hit and miss with their salt.
They've got to be really hot and salty, don't they, and crispy.
Chicken salt, and then they're good. But then sometimes you get them, you're driving off going, where's my chicken salt?
Yeah, soggy and
But yeah, so I don't have. But yes, Macca's is probably where I probably head to the most if I'm having a need for fries. Or the corner shop around here make good fries.
That's good. Have you ever had Five Guys at all?
Five Guys.
So it's an American chain, and they've got a couple of stores in Australia. There's two in Melbourne, and they're really famous for really good fries. But they deliberately overfill your bag with fries. So say you order just like your burger and your small fries. Their thing is that they'll not only give you a little thing of small fries, they'll just get like an extra 4 scoops. So the same thing of picking that fry up the bottom of your Macca's bag, right? There's 300 of them. And they are always perfectly seasoned. They make them out of every day they will get a certain type of potato, and they'll advertise. Today it's, the Ballarat farm. This is what we're doing. They are really good. So if you ever, I think there's one down at Crown. Five Guys.
Five Guys. All right, I'm going to look. I've tried Fat Jacks before.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. I think
they live up to their name.
I'm with you. I'm a sucker for a good fry. I do like my burgers, but there's always kind of that ratio, right? Where you've got to you can go to a place with really good fries, shit burgers. Really good burger, shit fries.
Shit fries. Yeah, you've got to nail both of them.
Yeah. And then also my biggest thing, this is a bit that is a selling point. I love my Macca's. I love my KFC. But Macca's always gets a slight leg up for me because I'm a Coke guy. Screw Pepsi. So, just that can ruin a place for me if there's Pepsi instead of Coke. So, hope I'm not losing any sponsors here, Jen, if you're sponsored by Pepsi or anything like that.
No, I stopped drinking. I reckon I have 1 or 2 a year now of Coke in that, but I stopped drinking after watching that sugar film. Right. And I was like, oh my God.
Smart. There you go. Everybody should watch that.
I used to drink a lot of it, but now I'm like, no.
If you could swap, this is an interesting one because you technically did swap sports in your career to do 2 different Olympics in 2 different sports. But if you could swap sports with another Olympian that's maybe not a skier, what event would you choose and how do you think you'd fare?
Bobsled.
You didn't even think about that. You're straight into the bobs.
Yeah.
Love it. You could do bobsled after you do this one. Go back to French Alps in bobsled, right?
I can't sprint, but yes, that would be my only downfall there. No, I don't have a very good hamstring in it. I can't sprint. It blows every time, so it wouldn't be a good sport for me.
Have you ever tried it? Like, has anyone just put you in one and just shoved you down the track at all?
Only in Innsbruck when you sit in the little. Not a proper race one. It's like the tourist one.
Okay.
And I went in with a bunch of young girls and we all squealed the whole way down. It was fun.
We've got a couple of good bobsled friends on this show, and they've started to really put the idea of putting me in one. And I am like, I don't even go on roller coasters, Jenny.
I go.
I'm a wimp, but I'm going to put it out there. I did curling once, and that was hard enough for me. So imagine me in a bobsled. So anyway, this is a question I'm excited for. So we generally ask, if your Olympic journey were a movie, what would the title be? And who would play you? Now, we technically have a movie for you. We technically have a movie.
Yep.
Now, I've gone to ChatGPT, as I always do, to get some ideas. And then I also like to get them to mock up a poster for this, right? So, and also,
you take that one step further. Okay.
Hey, and I even get them to suggest actresses to play you if this is going to be like a fictional one. Okay. So, they're 10 ideas that they've given here. So, they've said, fourth time's fire. That's okay. The run back. Not too bad. Beyond the finish line. Cold comeback. They've gone with Owens, not Lyons, the fourth peak. So there's that second peak, fourth peak. Take that out there. We've got Edge of Glory. That's a Lady Gaga song, so I guess you could have her singing the title. My favorite, this is my favorite, No Plan B. That's
No Plan B.
It's dramatic.
That's true.
Don't have any
I've
plan
never
B.
really had a good plan B, hence keep coming back probably.
We've got Retired, Refocused, Relentless. Okay.
That's not a title though.
Frozen Flame and Return to Cortina. Now, I'll show you. So I went with No Plan B, but then I've got this in two versions because then I obviously realized that Second Peak might be sort of a loose title for the documentary and all that kind of things. But the photo that they've produced, and for our audio listeners, as I always say, go to our YouTube channel, you'll see this. This is what the mock-up is for Second Peak, if you can see that.
I love that.
It's not bad, is it? She's giving everything for one last shot.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
I just
pretty epic.
I just can't use the Olympic rings. You know,
I know, right? Just
I have to wipe that bit off, but the rest of it's awesome.
Sorry, Kirsty. We'll blur that out for you there. The actresses, though, do you want to hear who they think could play you?
Yes, I do want to know who would play me.
Have you ever been given like a sort of a doppelganger? Has anybody ever said that you resemble anyone? Okay, just put that in there. So they've gone with Rose Byrne, great Australian actress. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Some of these I honestly have never heard of, to be fair. Mackenzie Davis. I know the name, but do I know the face? Yeah. Elizabeth Debicki. Another Aussie there. They're saying not too familiar with her. Emily Blunt. Actually, that's a good one. I see Emily Blunt in you, Jenny.
Okay, good.
I'm seeing that. It doesn't say Drew Barrymore or Cameron Diaz, by the way, so we can't go with that one. Yvonne Stravosky, Jessica DeGao, Abby Cornish. Yes, that's actually. No, hang on. I'm stopping right there.
You like her the best?
Abby Cornish. Now, as soon as, when you see someone's name and then you look at the face, Abby Cornish. I'm saying that right now. Abby Cornish. Okay. Yeah. Abby Cornish is playing you in No Plan B. Coming to cinemas.
All right, in No Plan B.
After the documentary. That's what's happening. I like Abby Cornish. Wow, blows my mind. There we go. What is the one question that you are tired of being asked, and what is the one that you wish people would ask you instead?
What do I get asked?
Always makes me scared, this question, because if all of a sudden you're like, I hate being asked this question and I've asked you it like 3 times and I'm like, fuck.
Well, one question I will continue to be asked on this journey is how old I am.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Isn't that the stereotype? Well, not stereotype, the cliche. Never ask a woman her age, and never never ask a man his salary. What's the?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been an open book, and I'm fine with it, and I'm happy to tell people. But I'll get asked it a lot, and I'm going to get sick of it for sure.
Just wear a t-shirt. I am 47. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Have a race number 47.
Yeah. Is there a question though that like maybe throughout your career that you wish people would ask you more, or sort of something to do with a story or anything along those lines in your career?
Honey.
Oh, is this your son coming in to ask a question?
He's going to get Arlo. What do you need? Can you just wait? Oh my God, she wants ice cream.
Who doesn't want ice cream? I want ice cream too.
You know where it is? It's in the freezer, hun. I told her to get whatever she needed herself. You think she wouldn't even come and ask for ice
Best
cream?
mum ever. If you're like,
you
help
told me
yourself
to
to
have
ice
whatever I
cream.
wanted.
The one time she asked for permission is like when you don't, like, just eat the ice cream. Go on.
What they would ask me instead. How can I better my training?
Hey, that's a good one.
You know what I'll tell them? Not telling.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Watch
After
the
Milan,
documentary.
after my gold medal win.
Yeah, I could tell you, but I'm going to have to kill you because I don't want you knowing my secrets.
Exactly. That's the competitor in you, right? You've got to keep it there close to your chest. The last one. This is always the deep one, Jenny. We always like to end out in this one. What is one lesson that you have learnt more from losing that you think has shaped you more than winning?
Oh, I guess, yeah, it's a tough one. I guess, as athletes and regardless of how successful you are, you do lose a lot. And when you're not as successful, you lose more. I would probably say I need to open ice cream for us.
It's been handed ice cream in the middle of this. Best interview ever. I'm on the wrong side of this camera. I need to be on your side of the camera. I want ice cream. There you go. Hello. You've got the best thing ever. You're getting ice cream. I've got a coffee.
Come
on.
Pretty resilient, I guess. You have to bounce back from situations pretty quickly. Yeah, you just need to move on from things. Like I might, I've learned to sort of have your pity party, have it as hard and big as you need to, but you do need to stop it and, okay, dust yourself off and on to the next day.
Pick up the ice cream and basically grab a spoon.
Yeah, I guess probably what I learned most from it is how to do things like that. You had to. You had to. Otherwise, you just weren't even ready for the next day because, ski cross, you have one race and then the next day you usually have another race. So you got to get your shit together before you go to bed that night. So, yeah, sometimes you could have a really hard cry and just depressed and just so devastated with your performance and not sure what's going on and then it's like, you want to be on your own, you watch a movie and then it's sort of like, okay, all right, tomorrow. Get
the shit together. There's your other T-shirt. Not only you have the I'm 47 years old, you get another one saying get your shit together, basically. So I like that. That's why we always end at now on this question. We were always sort of a bit skeptical. Do we end on the deep question? But now it's sort of I think it bookends the interview quite well with it. Jenny, such a pleasure and such an honor that you've decided to share your story with us here on the podcast. And I really do appreciate you reaching out to me and sort of telling me and being open with it. And sort of, we're so looking forward to seeing what is going to happen between now and Milan and everything. And then getting you back on in 12 months to talk about all this success. But I mean, just people want to follow your journey, social media, and obviously
social media, LinkedIn.
Yep.
We've got a Second Peak social pages as well,
right,
as my own personal stuff as well. And then obviously on LinkedIn we'll have the Second Peak page and my personal one, and we'll put stuff on there as well. Obviously LinkedIn's going to be a bit more, businessy.
Yeah. Will there be merch? Will there be like T-shirts, beanies, things like that? Because
look, I've done that in the past and it's hard to organise. It's a lot to organise. I've done all my fundraising in the past, and those types of things they're good, but they are hard to organise. You got to, people order them. You got to get them out, and it's not so easy.
Get pins if you want to do it, like Olympic pins. You've been to 3. You know what people are like with bloody Olympic pins. Everybody always wants a pin. Sell them for $1.
Everyone wants a pin.
There's $1 million. You'll make it in a day. I guarantee it.
Yeah. So anyway, but we'll look out for the $5 donation link. That's going to be our well, I mean, you can donate more than $5 if you want.
You don't cap it. Some millionaires listening, well, I was going to give you $5 million, but you only want 5, so all right then. That's all right for the tax purposes.
Yeah. So look out for that. I guess is the main bit.
We will keep an eye on it, and as soon as it is out, we will share it. And we will help plug it out there and everything along the lines, Jenny. But we really do appreciate you telling your story and everything crossed, every extremity that we can possibly cross, we're going to cross for you from now until Milan next year.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ben, and thanks again for your time.